Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. It is now January 19th in 2025. So we are going to continue our coverage of multiple events that's happening over the next few days. I did mention mentioned it, the Western North Carolina snow events. It seemed like they're about to get a little bit more snow coming into the area here tonight into tomorrow. And so I can bring out my marker for this one. So we got a couple things that's going on here that we have to watch out here. So we got like this mid-Atlantic snow event that's happening here, and a piece of it is gonna go over the mountains, and it's gonna give the high peaks a couple more inches on top of what they already gotten over the last couple days. And then of course we got the Rams and Eagles football game that are about to happen here, and definitely keep an eye on that on TV over the next few hours if you're watching this video right away. So, we're gonna go over the National Weather Service warnings and watches. So right now, they're already starting to lay out the groundwork for the snow events across the Deep South. We got winter storm watch over the Deep South and along the Gulf of Mexico coast here. And then probably the Chappaw area. It's probably gonna be in this little area in Louisiana, Mississippi. They're probably expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow. Probably not 12 inches, but definitely at least 6 inches for sure. So that's gonna be very historic events for them. And then there's gonna be a little bit of freezing rain events along the coast here. Some missing precipitation going on here. So that's where I'll be expecting some sleet, ice, snow, a little bit everything. And yes, you're seeing it correctly, everybody. We got a winter storm watch for Florida right here in the Panhandle. So again, this is a pretty rare event that's happening here. And of course, we still got a little bit of winter storm warning for the mountains here in western North Carolina. And we're going to cover that in a second. And of course, we got a winter storm warning for the mountains up into New England here. It's not very unusual for them. They're gonna get a couple inches of snow. Again, it's pretty common for them to get that much of snow. So overall, a lot of weather stuff going on here in the country. So we got the National Weather Service, but more regional, and we got the Buncombe County under winter storm. I'm sorry, winter weather advisory for like flurries and stuff like that. And then we got the high elevation areas along the borders. They're expecting a couple more inches, which is enough to keep the warning going for them. And then we do have then the National Weather Service snow map for western North Carolina. So this is from Greenville Spartanburg office in South Carolina, which is only covering for these counties, but it should be enough to give you all like overall picture of what's happening. So they're definitely expecting another 8 inches, 8 to 12 inches along the high peaks of Smokies here. And then we got the Round Mountains area, definitely getting 6 to 10 inches of additional snow. And then we got Mount Mitchell area, they're expecting a little bit more here as well. And apparently this is not zooming up, so hopefully this should help you all a little bit more. So, yeah, it's a little bit an additional storm. And then we do have the computer model, so we're gonna go over the computer models real quick. I can't really use the drawing. I can't really draw on these GIFs, so you're just gonna have to follow my arrows here for this one. So, yeah, we got a couple solutions on the table, and it's causing a lot of chaos with the forecast. And it has to do with the fortitude features that I've been talking about. So getting really squashy, really positive tilt, which is kind of straightening out the fortitude instead of compacting the fortitude. So the storm's kind of getting suppressed and spread out, and it's causing less snow for the southeast, especially going into the Carolinas. So this is more of a drier solution that we have. And this is like the lower end of solution for the snowfall in the Carolinas. And in this case, still enough to get a couple inches for the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. Probably like 1 or 2 inches for South Carolina, around Charleston and Myrtle Beach here. But pretty much nothing in North Carolina or Central South Carolina. So that's the lower end of the solution. And then we're going to go to the NAM here, which is more what we call the mesoscale model. So this model is more equipped to handle smarter features, like mesoscale feature. And what this model's doing is, we'll talk more about it in a second, but it's kind of sniffing out the heterogeneous band, or FGN band, that's kind of forming along the Interstate 95. So you got that little banding, extra lifting that is happening in the storm system, and that could potentially give us 1 to 3 inches of snow along the Interstate 95, on top of a couple inches of snow along the coastline here of Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, Hatteras. Those areas probably gonna get 2 to 4 inches in this case here. And then, of course, there's still enough time for the storm to be shifting a little bit more northwest and give everybody a little bit more snow. But I think we're running out of time. I mean, this is only 48 hours away now. So we're kind of running out of time for the storm to find a way to get stronger and get everybody a little bit more snow. So we got the European computer model here. Alright, so we got the European computer model, and it's kind of having the same idea as the NAM. Even the Euro computer model's more of a synoptic computer model, but still kind of same idea with a little bit overrunning events for the coastal area of North Carolina and South Carolina, expecting like 2 or 4 inches along the coastline here, a little bit more like 1 to 2 inches along the Interstate 95 in the Carolinas. So as you can see, we had like 2 very different solutions here. We got one that's very dry with almost no moisture, and we got another one that's more robust with a little bit more moisture for everybody. Yeah, it's interesting. So we got like the European and Sibley computer model that I've been talking about over the last couple videos, and it's still supporting the idea of 2 to 4 inches of snow along the coastline and 1 to 2 inches of snow along the interstate, and a little bit more toward the inland areas like Charlotte or Greensboro. But honestly, it's not too impressive. It's not very too impressive, which is disappointing. So this is the FGN band that I've been talking about, where the boundaries are kind of staying up, and then you're gonna get that extra lift of air parcels along the Interstate 95 area, and we can get that little banding going on here. We can get a couple inches underneath this banding here. So that's another thing to consider about when you're forecasting this for this event. So here's my first call forecast. So I like to do my forecast in a couple waves. I like to do my first call forecast and the final forecast. And sometime you'll get my first guess, first call, and final call forecasts in a couple waves. I kind of skip it over first guess this time, but we're going to do the first call forecast. But I feel like there's a little bit, I think there's enough information now that we're going to get, I guess, a good idea of what to expect for the winter events that's coming up. And honestly, this is a very boom or bust forecast. There's a lot of uncertainty going on right now. We could either get nothing in that little zone at Jordan here, the orange zone with the orange dots. We can either get nothing, or we can get 4 or 8 inches of snow. There's still a lot of options on the table right now, even for, I guess, 48 hours out. There's still a lot of options. It's chaotic, and I apologize for that, but this is the best I have for now. You know, this is more my first guess, even though it's only 48 hours away, so I kind of have to call it the first call forecast. But this is something what my first guess will typically be like. So again, it's a bit of hair scratcher of a storm system to figure out. And I'm gonna talk about National Weather Service forecasts because they're kind of having similar idea I'm having right now, and I don't mind sharing their forecasts. You know, they're the professionals after all. So we got the Weather Prediction Center map and what they're thinking for the Carolinas, and I think they're a little bit bullish here. They're definitely expecting the storm to shift a little bit more northwest. You know, due to typical trends that we usually see with our winter weather here in North Carolina. But I don't think Northwest trends are gonna matter much if the imaging features are not really matching up and getting aligned with each other. The Fortune City features I'm talking about over the last couple of videos. I don't think it matters much if there's a disagreement with that. But right now, they're still a little bit bullish on heavy snow events along the eastern North Carolina into central South Carolina with a little bit of freezing rain along the coastline. So yeah, it's gonna be more of a mess if this is true. But again, right now, this is a bit of a headache of a forecast. And even National Weather Service struggling with this one. So we're gonna cover the National Weather Service forecast, and this is what they're expecting right now. So comparing to the National Weather Prediction Center in DC, I believe they're in DC or Silver Springs. I could be wrong. I need to look that up. So comparing to these guys, our local weather service office is a lot less bullish. They're a lot less bullish. I mean, along, like, even south of Interstate 95 here, all this, we gained 1 inch of snow. With the Outer Banks gained 2 inches. So, yeah, they're a lot less bullish here. And then here's the lower end amount. So, this is them saying, okay, this is a chance that no one's gonna get snow here. There's a chance that no one in the Carolinas get the snow outside of the mountains over the next few days. And that's like I know it's very depressing, but that is still an option. That is still on the table. And then this is also on the table, which I think is very, 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 very bullish. I don't see this happening, even in our best case. If you're a snow lover, I still see it. But apparently, National Weather Service officers in the Carolinas are thinking we're gonna hit the ceiling. We're gonna hit the ceiling of this winter system. We're gonna be talking about 8 to 12 inches of snow. We're hitting the very ceiling of this winter event. But I personally don't see it. I think the ceiling's more like 4 inches for Raleigh and Columbia, South Carolina, and more like 6 inches along the coastline. I think that's the ceiling. And then here's the National Weather Service. They're saying widespread 40 to 60% chance that we're gonna get over 2 inches of snow along the coastline here. So hopefully this is not information overload. But in this area here, we're talking about 40 to 60% chance of getting at least 2 inches. And then we're going to go a little bit higher, up to 4 inches here. And again, we got the very far coastal area here in eastern North Carolina. They're getting almost 50-50 shot that they're going to get 4 inches. But what's interesting to me is this area here along Raleigh and Columbia, South Carolina areas here, there's 33% chance they're going to get over 4 inches of snow, which I think is crazy. But then think about that a little bit more. It kind of goes back to this guy here, this banning that I'm talking about. So, to simplify it, there's a chance that there could be a banning. They're going to kind of form on the back end of a storm. As the storm kind of lifts out, we're going to get a banning that kind of forms over central South Carolina, North Carolina, and that could give us a quick couple inches as well. So that's something to keep an eye on. So yeah, well, that's all I have for y'all. But again, going back to my first call forecast, I mean, there's a pretty high bust potential with this one. I'm not very confident at all. To be honest with y'all, there's like almost no confidence with this one. This could be very wrong in either direction. Or this could be nothing. Or we can get, I guess, 4 to 8 inches along this area. For who I knows, for who knows. For all I know, I don't know, wherever the president was saying is here, but yeah, this is a headache of a storm. And also, another thing to note is, for this area here, I can't rule out the mist precipitation, the missing with the sleet snow, the ugly stuff. I can't rule that out yet either. We're gonna get like a stronger storm. This is gonna come into the play. But if we're gonna get a weaker storm, there's probably gonna be no moisture for anyone. So yeah, there you have it. Hopefully this was helpful for y'all. Let me know what y'all think about the video. Leave a comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.